Hello, guys. Welcome back to another or one of my favorite TPTs. I'll introduce you to you today, and they are all about summarizing YouTube videos. Now, if you're like me and you love podcasts or you watch a lot of instructional and educational content on YouTube, you will really love these TPTs because they help you to get the key takeaways from a video within a few seconds. And you don't have to watch the video unless you want to. And we all know often we just don't have the time to watch the full video. So I have taken this example here. I have a video from Andrew Huberman and his super popular science podcast. And I'm going to do the following. For now, I will just copy and paste the URL because we are going to need that in the custom GPT that will summarize the video. Also, I'm going to show you 3 interesting use cases where you can go beyond just summarizing a YouTube video and you can actually do a little more with the content or the summary that you get. All right. So I am here now in the GPT store and I'm going to use the search bar because I don't know the name of any specific GPT that does that. So I will simply type the kind of feature or function that I'm looking for into the search bar, which is, of course, to summarize YouTube videos. So I type summarize YouTube videos, and now I will see a number of custom QPTs that all promise to do that. Now, I don't really have a favorite here. I've tried a few. They all work, but I'm going to pick this one here just because it has the most conversations. So it seems to be particularly popular. Okay, I click on it. I click 4.2 stars. That's also a solid rating. I click on Start Chat. And all I'm going to do is I will type, please summarize this YouTube video for me, and then paste the link. I hit the enter button. And now ChatGPT has to click on allow. And now I'm going to get a summary of the video. Takes a few seconds, but then I have a great summary, very structured here now of the bullet points. And always follow this procedure, okay? In the first step, I always recommend you to summarize the YouTube video because now you kind of have a briefing for ChatGPT with the summary, right? But now you have the few things you can do with that summary. One example would be if you wanted a different output. Maybe you don't want all of the bullet points and you kind of just wanted text to read. So you could just say, please change the summary into floating text for me without all the bullet points. Some people, including me, I kind of prefer to read something like this because all of the bullet points, they don't really help me and they often just end up confusing me. All right, now another use case that you can do is that you can ask ChatGPT to dive in more detail into certain aspect of the summary, right? So let's take, what's I gonna take? Maybe I go back to the structured one. Let's just take this one here and say, please dive in more detail into the section on negative ionization. Right, so you say, please dive in more detail into the section of negative ionization. Just copy and paste that section from the summary, hit the enter button, and you will learn more about what was said on that topic in the blog post. Right, so if you have a certain part of the blog podcast that's more interesting to you, ask for it to be summarized in more detail. Great. Another and final amazing use case I want to show you is, let's say you have the blog where you maybe want to write about the content that was shared in a podcast, right? So maybe you want just a single blog post, or maybe you want to create a blog post series based on what you've learned in the podcast, right? So what you could simply do is to ask ChatGPT to create a series of blog post ideas or to create a blog post series concept based on the content of that video, and simply type a prompt that says exactly this. I would just say, please take the summary of the video and create an idea for a blog post series based on the content shared in the podcast for me. I hit the enter button, and now ChatGPT suggests me a number of blog posts that I could write, and it also gives me a brief outline. Now, I'm not going to do this not to make the video too long, but of course, with the next prompts, you could take any one of these blog post ideas and ask ChatGPT to create a more detailed outline. And if you wanted to, in the next step, then you could ask ChatGPT to start writing that blog post for you, right? And that's how you go from summarizing a podcast maybe you would not have been able to watch because you didn't have time, to writing entire blog articles based on the content of that podcast. And it takes you less than 10 minutes, right? And obviously, you will have to go over the blog post and you will have to edit it and refine it. But this is such an amazing workflow, and it can save you so much time. It can give you so many additional learnings.